Peggy 12.
With Path of Fire, we're offering 9 new elite specializations, 1 for each of the classes. And the idea behind the specialization, it's another way to customize your playstyle.
In a lot of ways, that gets back to what Guild Wars has been about from the beginning. Character progression doesn't just mean getting better, getting more powerful. Character progression means having new options, more things that I can do, more strategies that I can employ.
What that means for the player is that they can experience the game in a lot of different ways.
Path of Fire will present you with the options to play the profession that you've known and loved in a new fashion, and in doing so, shake the world up a bit.
The Guardian Elite specialization is called the Firebrand. He specializes in burning his enemies and conjuring magical tomes that he can use to support his allies.
They're the book nerd gone mad. They've got access to all these secret histories and these tomes that give them access to new skills really quickly.
It's going to be giving up instant support for allies in favor of casted support. The benefits of Guardians taking the Firebrand are that you're going to have a lot more focused support available to you.
The weapon that they're wielding is the axe, a very offensive, up-close and personal means of eradicating the enemy.
You've been entrusted with these secrets, and you have to protect them with your life.
One of the most interesting changes is the Necromancer, who gets the Scourge specialization.
They're rejecting Palawa Joko and finding this kind of alternate approach to necromancy in the desert. So they're there to help protect the souls that Joko's trying to take control over.
What the Necromancer is going to do is he's going to give up his Death Shroud, and instead he's going to place his life force onto the earth and protect allies from those locations.
He gets a lot more battlefield control and movement options that the regular Necromancer would not have.
The Scourge gets the torch as an offhand weapon, protecting their allies with it, and lighting the way to, well, damnation for their enemies. The new elite specialization for the Thief is the Deadeye. They run with the rifle.
The rifle gives them a lot more range. It lets them tackle certain problems from a distance that normally they'd have to face up front.
They form a contract to take out a particular individual, and then they execute on that.
The Deadeye would have me terrified, you know, that there's someone out there stalking me, waiting for me to make a mistake so they can take me down. They're mercenaries, they're assassins, they're trained hunters. Great to have on your side. Don't get them upset.
The Mesmer specialization, the Mirage, focuses on being a very deceptive combatant in close melee range.
They blend into basically whatever their surroundings are, camouflaging themselves so that you can't see them, and while they're doing this, they can strike at you from multiple directions.
The other interesting thing about the Mirage is that it has a different dodge mechanic. They have a blur effect that allows attacks to pass through them rather than them moving out of the way of the attack.
The idea that there are folks who now can manipulate the desert itself to kind of provide power to their illusions and phantasms, I think it's a really cool direction for the Mesmer to step in.
So the Warrior specialization is called the Spellbreaker, and I guess as the name implies, it's a warrior who kind of specializes in fighting magic users.
These folks were members of the Sunspear Order, the chosen guardians of Alona. When their order was smashed, they picked up stopping powerful wizards was the best way to protect people.
They wield daggers, and they have become so ridiculously focused at perceiving magic that now they're able to actually cut magic off of their foes.
So they've got these incredibly powerful retaliatory abilities. They've got the ability to just stop skills from working in an area or strip the enemy's boons. You don't just challenge your enemy where they're weak, you challenge them where they're strong, and you make them back down.
The Weaver is an elementalist who has decided that they are going to specialize in the desert in wielding multiple attunements at once.
Elementalists normally cycle through their magic one after the other, but the Weaver is combining them and creating these new elements out of the two, this kind of hybrid magic.
The Weaver can have 2 fire skills, 2 water skills, and then a 5th skill that is a fire and water skill simultaneously.
The weapon that they're going to be wielding is one that elementalists have long requested, the sword. So they will be picking up the access to imbue their blades with sabers of lightning, earthen hilts,
Playing a Weaver has this really interesting rhythm to it that is really cool. You can really surprise your opponents, catch people off guard, and keep a sense of flexibility. Your enemy doesn't know what you're about to do, and I think there's something really cool there.
The Soul Beast is our ranger specialization that allows rangers to combine their spirits with their pet.
They become their bear, they become their devourer. They take on the essence of these animals and tear through opponents.
They also gain access to the dagger as a main hand weapon. Now they can kind of, slice and dice with both components, crossing into close range, as well as crippling from a distance.
It works really well with some of the new pets that we're adding for rangers in Alona.
The Renegade is the elite specialization for the Revenant. This is a new legend that they get to channel, and the legend is of Kala's Scorchrazor, this renegade char.
And she kind of bestows on the player her rebellious spirit that she used to overthrow the Flame Legion. And what this kind of manifests as is the ability to ambush opponents. You can summon members of her char warband to bolster your allies, or you can fire arrows into a portal into the mist that come out of a different portal behind the enemy.
What's really exciting about the Renegade is the idea that standing up to powerful, intimidating foes because you know what's right and you know you'll win in the end.
The Hollowsmith is the Engineer's elite specialization. They take a very clean look at energy, light in particular, and find ways to bend it to enhance their strikes.
He can have this kind of interesting multi-weapon playstyle. You can do an attack where you pull out a holographic hammer and you hit him with the hammer, and then you can pull out some holographic guns and you shoot them with the guns.
In the process, they build up heat within themselves. If they stay too long in this kind of heated mode, they will eventually explode.
The idea of bending light to be your weapon, I think, is really cool.
Elite specializations are a really fun way for us to explore different ways to play the same character.
They push the bounds of what they've done before.
You get to choose how your character exists in the world, what they do, how they do it, and these elite specializations allow you another step in customizing the character to meet that end.